Hello, AK friends, I miss you. Today's story is called From Caterpillar to Butterfly by Deborah Heiligman and illustrated by Barry Weissman. And it goes like this. If we were in the classroom, we would have ordered caterpillars in a jar, and we would be watching them change, and we would put them in a nice net and watch them emerge, change to a chrysalis and emerge as a butterfly. This story is going to tell you what happens in a classroom, and in this classroom the children get to experience this. It goes like this from the title page, From Caterpillar to Butterfly. I'm going to use my reading finger and I'm going to follow along with the words. Today a caterpillar came to school in a jar. It is eating green leaves. It is climbing and wiggling. This tiny caterpillar is going to change. It will change into a beautiful butterfly. Caterpillars usually turn into butterflies outdoors. They live in gardens and meadows and yards, but we will watch our caterpillar change into a butterfly right here in our classroom. This change is called metamorphosis. That's a very long word, metamorphosis. I'm going to say it, and then you say it with me. Metamorphosis. Say it with me. Metamorphosis. If I put my book down, I can clap the parts, the syllables. Metamorphosis. Our caterpillar started out as a tiny egg. The mother butterfly laid the egg on a leaf. And so if you look here, these are the eggs. It says the egg is tiny. It is the size of a pinhead. A butterfly is an insect. When the caterpillar hatched out of the egg, it was hungry. It ate its way out of its own eggshell. Then it started to eat green plants right away. We know that caterpillars need to eat green plants. I'm sure you really enjoyed, I personally enjoyed the story that Mrs. A read about the very hungry caterpillar that ate all those really yummy foods. I'm going to take my reading finger and I'm going to point to the sentences here around the leaves. You probably can't see them, but I can. I'm going to read to you. It says, the mother butterfly lays her eggs on plants that the caterpillar will eat. These are called host plants. I like how they took the words and they just curved and made the sentence go around the shape of that leaf. A caterpillar's job is to eat and eat and eat, so it will grow and grow and grow. And then right over here it says, the caterpillar is also called the larva. My turn, larva. Your turn, you say larva. Each day when we come into school, we look at our caterpillar. Each day it is bigger. So here it is in the jar. And you can see from if we go back here to well, it's kind of hard to see. From the beginning, the caterpillar is growing and the leaf, it's eating the leaf. And I would think in that classroom, every day they're going outside and maybe at recess they're bringing in more leaves and putting in the jar. That would be really fun to do if we were at school. Right here, it says, the caterpillar eats and grows for let me do that again. The caterpillar eats and grows for 12 to 14 days. So here's the caterpillar. I'm going to start up here with the words and read. Our skin grows with us, but a caterpillar's skin does not grow. When the caterpillar gets too big for its skin, the skin splits down the back. The caterpillar crawls right out of its own skin. It has new skin underneath. This is called molting. Our caterpillar will molt 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times. So I'm going to say that word. It's a science word, molt. Now it's your turn to say it with me, molt. After many days, our caterpillar is finished growing. It is much bigger than when it first came to school. It is almost as big as my little finger now. Here's her little finger. This would be my little finger. So it would be the size of, boys and girls, it would be the size of your little finger. My little finger is just a little bit bigger than yours. Oops, the page is stuck. There we go. Our caterpillar is making a special house. First, it makes a button of silk. So here's the button of silk. It uses this button to hang upside down from a twig. Then it molts for the last time. Instead of a new skin, this time there is a hard shell. This shell is called a chrysalis. Our caterpillar will stay inside the chrysalis for a long time. So I'm going to say that science word. This is called a chrysalis. Say it with me, chrysalis. And I believe if you look, I'm not for sure which day it is this week, but we have a video for you to watch that shows the life cycle of a caterpillar changing to a butterfly. They took a camera, and it's out in nature. It's outside, so it's the real thing. You get to see it. Here is another sentence, the smaller sentence that says the chrysalis is also called the pupa. So you can call it. You'll hear it be called chrysalis, and you'll also hear it be called a pupa. Every day the chrysalis looks the same. We can't see anything happening, but inside the chrysalis, our caterpillar is changing. The caterpillar stays in the chrysalis about 1 week. So if we were to do this in our classroom, 12 to 14 days and then the 1 week, it would take approximately 20-25 days. It would take we'd start at the beginning of probably the month of April, and towards the end of April is when we would be looking for the butterfly to emerge out of the chrysalis. Will our caterpillar ever turn into a butterfly? Will it ever come out of its chrysalis? We can hardly wait, but we do. We wait and wait and wait. Then one day during snack time, somebody shouts, "Look!" and we all rush over to see. Move my fingers. The chrysalis is cracking. We see a head, a body, and then wings. It's a butterfly. When it emerges, when it comes out of that chrysalis, it's all squished up and it's all wet. And the wings look broken, but they're not broken. It's just it's been in this chrysalis. It's tight. It's in a cocoon. And so you can pretend, you can kind of push your body together, your arms and your legs, and then pretend that you are a butterfly and you're emerging from that chrysalis. And as you emerge, everything just starts to stretch out. So I'm going to turn the page, and you'll get to see it goes from this to this, the butterfly. The tiny caterpillar who came to school in a jar turned into a painted lady butterfly, and we saw it happen. Our butterfly is damp and crumpled. Damp, that means it's wet. It hangs on to the chrysalis while its wings flap, 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 and blood pumps into its wings. The wings straighten out and dry. Soon our butterfly will be ready to fly. In the classroom, if we were to do this in the classroom, once that butterfly emerges and it stretches its wings and then it flaps its wings, those wings dry, then the next thing we would be doing in the classroom, boys and girls, is we would take a cotton ball and we would put it in water. And then when in the water, we put some sugar in the water and we stir that up to make that water sweet. So we put sugar in it because butterflies need something to eat. And if you were sitting in front of me right now, that would be a question I'd ask you. I'd say, where do they get their sweet food from? And I know somebody would raise their hand, and it might be Emmett, it might be Keaton, it might be Olivia, it might be Scarlett, it might be Andrew, it might be Amelia who raises their hand, and I know that you would probably tell me this. A flower! Exactly, it would fly to a flower to get the nectar. But we don't have a flower in here. They don't have a flower in here. But that's what they would do. That's what we would do in the classroom. We would put a cotton ball soaked in sugar water into the jar, and then we'd watch because that butterfly would fly right over to it, and its mouth, called a proboscis, that would come right out, the proboscis would come right out and go right down to that cotton ball, and just like a straw, it would suck up that sweet nectar, that sweet sugar water. Our butterfly cannot stay in the jar. It needs to be outside with flowers and grass and trees and other butterflies. It is a warm spring day. I put my finger into the jar, the butterfly sits on my finger, and I pull it out, and our butterfly goes free. We feel a little sad and a little happy. We watch our butterfly land on a flower. It will sip the flower's nectar through a long coiled tube called a proboscis. Maybe it is a female butterfly. Maybe someday she will lay an egg on a leaf. I know just what will happen then. That egg will hatch into a caterpillar, and that caterpillar will turn into a beautiful butterfly. And it says right here, painted lady butterflies sip nectar from certain flowers. They like thistles, burdocks, zinnias, butterfly bush, and mint. How many different kinds of butterflies can you find around your neighborhood? Here are some common ones to look for. It's really been kind of chilly, so it's kind of rare to see a butterfly when it's chilly. But in the next week or so, when you're outside playing in your backyard, or if you have the opportunity to go for a walk, remember we're practicing being kind and saying hi and waving to people because of the virus. Look for butterflies. This one here is called a monarch butterfly, black swallowtail, cabbage white, dog-faced butterfly, common blue, buckeye. And I believe this is the last page. It says, here are some places to see butterflies. If you are on online this week or on our class website, one of the videos we put on is it comes from Florida, and it's the butterfly world, the butterfly house. And it's really kind of a neat thing to check out. So I hope you have an opportunity to do that. Thanks for checking in today. We love seeing you. We miss you. Bye-bye.